So, guys, if we talk about immigration, it didn't just start now. That is the nature of man. Move from one place to another. Move from one place to another. For as many who are Christians, you should be able to understand the journey of Abraham and a lot of people in the Bible who moved from one place to another. It has been like that. You can't say, "Oh, I was born here, so now there I go." There's no law that says that you have to live there, and there's no law that says that you cannot leave or you cannot move from that place and go to another place. That is how it has always been. And when people talk about, especially when they say, "Oh," especially the white people, they will say, those who do not even know their left from their right, they say, "Go back to your country, go back to your country, go back to Africa." That is what they always say, "Go back to Africa." That is to tell you how limited their knowledge is. And I always ask people that if they tell you that you go back to your Africa, why in the first place their people came? Why is it that they could not, if they believe that they had everything, if they believe they had everything, because as at that time, they were still more sophisticated than African countries. Even till today, they are still more sophisticated, they are still more enlightened, they are still more developed than African countries. It is not today, it has always been. So if they believe that they knew or they had everything, why did you leave to go and take somebody else's thing, to go to other places to go and know what they are doing there? At the end of the day, they now resorted to slavery, and the rest is history. The rest is history. And that is why we are asking now, if Lagos is developed, why is it that in London, the majority of the tribes that you have in London, they really have their own corner? You go to London, you see the Yorubas. So when people come out and say, go back to Anambra State, because that is the rave of the moment. As we speak now, that is the rave of the moment. Go back to Anambra, go back to this. If your place is good, why are you coming to Lagos? That is to tell you that those people are limited in their own thinking. They are limited in their own thinking. Some are ignorant, some are illiterate, some are speaking from the angle of hatred. So, irrespective of where you live, irrespective of how your place is developed, we see a lot of Americans who are living in the UK and vice versa. Vice versa. Like I talk about the slave trade and these people that they came to Africa. You ask yourself, that why is it that they still have their embassy? If they are island of everything, they should stay back. There shouldn't be any connection or any relationship of any sort with other countries. They should have just stayed there. Let other people, if they feel that they have everything. So when people talk, you begin to understand. Like I said, we have categories of people who talk from the angle of hatred. Some talk from the angle of ignorance. Some talk from the angle of wickedness. Let me just put it that way. So when I hear people say, Lagos is developed. If Lagos is developed, what see Yoruba people they find for London? What did they find for other places? Why? If really is developed, like the way you claim. If you talk about Americans, you talk about British people, even some of them, but go and check the percentage. It's not because of maybe their places, if you can understand those ones. But when you talk about our own, the reason why we are living, because it's not developed at all in any way. You can't just even, we're not even, when you say underdeveloping countries, it's an understatement. You are trying to be nice. We are not underdeveloping anything, because when you talk about underdeveloping, you are talking of people who are on the process of developing. We are not even ready. We don't even want to. We might be planning something that, okay, I want to develop, I want to be developed, I want to do this, you have the interest. Maybe one day you will start. We have categories of people like that. Okay, one day you will start, but it's just that you don't have the willpower to start, or you don't have you are not ready yet. But when you talk about underdeveloped, they are not ready. They don't even want it. Just like people will tell you, Boko Haram. What is Boko Haram? Western education is prohibited. They don't even want it. So forget all those ones. They say they one day in the category of underdeveloped, and that is why we are having problem in this country. They don't even want any form of knowledge, but they just want to be stuck in what they have known. They don't even know that even their religion that they are even talking about. You need to know other things. That does not take your religion away from you. Learn other things, and you begin to waste some things. There's nothing that is so perfect. When you talk about religion, if we were to practice the way religion is being practiced, maybe it would have been better, but people have mixed religion with what their own ideologies, which most of the time is evil. And that's why people always talk about, well, who religion help? No, religion is supposed to help, but maybe the way we are administering it, that's where we're having the problems. That's where we're having the problems. So people like Nigeria, when people say, undeveloped countries, we know they underdeveloped. We know we are not developing. We are underdeveloped, and we are not even ready in the first place. We are not ready in the first place. People are talking about Japan now. You want to blame people? A lot of people have stayed back in this country, thinking things will be better. Things will be better. Anytime I remember, Andrew, no check out. So when they go, they say Nigeria go better, Africa go better, my people go better. Oh, Nigeria go better. Nigeria go better, Africa go better, my people go better, oh. Nigeria go better, Andrew no check out, oh. He say what? Make I no check out, say what? She understand, that kind of a thing. And people who say we are so patriotic, we want to stay back. Now they are regretting. People who don't check out during, what did they call her? During Andrew time, that they sang that song. At times I would just say, now, wow. Do you want to blame those people who stayed back? At the end of the day, nothing to show for it. The only lucrative job or profession, if you want to call it profession, is, I always say it, is politics. And it's a do or die. As far as Nigeria is concerned, I'm not talking about the whole world, because some countries they see it as a service, and that is how it ought to be. So people who did not even jackpot that time, now they are regretting that if they had known, because we are hoping, and the politicians keep deceiving the people, giving you false hope, and they are still on it, and some people are still falling into that trap. So that's by the wayside. So if really Lagos is developed, like people, they run their mouths now, if Lagos is developed, why you can't see a lot of people for London and other places? At least I'm using UK as an example. Why? If really they develop, why you not stay there? So you don't have the moral justification to be telling people that wait till they fight for Lagos if your place is developed. If your place is developed, why they come? But the only person that they talk about now, Peter Obi states, because that's the rivalry between them. They feel that there's rivalry. I don't understand. See, if Peter Obi becomes the president, they will come, they will take Lagos from you. Meanwhile, somebody already, the person that is controlling the Lagos now, is he the son of the soil? No, it's not son of the soil, but you are not fighting him. You are not doing it because, of course, you are not even game out. You don't even have that boldness to even say, no, let somebody who is the son of the soil be in charge of this state. No. There was one leak via audio when Shetima, they try to prepare them, to parade them, or to I don't know, to sweet mouth them. Don't worry, we are going to deal with the Igbos. We're going to make sure say, that the Lagos belong to the Lagos people. And I say, is it Igbos that have taken over Lagos, or somebody from another place? So somebody could just want to tell me, even if everybody tell me, there are some languages in the Ekiti state they speak Yoruba. You know, if you be a Lagosian, you cannot, go fit hear them. All this deep Ekiti, Ikale, all these people from Igbokoda, they go speak that language. You go hear. You go hear now, and it's all of now Yoruba. So we are talking about the distinction, no matter what. Not to talk of if you talk about Niger Delta, even Delta State alone, do you know how many languages that are there? But they categorize everybody together. But what I'm saying is that if Lagos is developed, why are Yorubas feel, majority of them, you see them in Peckham. Go there now, you go see, you go hear one for there. You go see in Lagos you did. If you go some areas for London, you go place in Lagos you did. So we have to be open-minded. That is the essence of this video. We have to be open-minded. It is people who are myopic, who are limited, that will be thinking of that. Grow beyond all those things. Make sense. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.